Have you guys ever had a celebrity crush so intense that you were unable to fall in love with anybody else, nor wanted to because you thought that you had a chance of getting with that person? So you start a GoFundMe so that you can move from the US to England to be in the same exact area as this person and audition for their band that's not even holding auditions. And this crush gets so intense, and you post about it, hoping that the person will see it. And instead, the video goes viral, and people are now making joking fan edits and fan art of you and this person, all while this celebrity is an alleged abuser. It's a pretty unique situation, but we're talking about Tyler Catastrophe today. Hi, my name's Alyssa, and I'm a Billy fan. Obviously. And is it a little ironic that I am talking about someone who is a very intense fan of somebody when this is what I am like? Yes. But Tyler is a very special case. So personally, I first heard about Tyler because I saw a video on TikTok from someone's stream of them reacting to this clip, and then it just kept getting bigger. So Tyler is somebody who lives in Texas and is a fan of a celebrity from the UK. He has seen this person in concert and even briefly spoken to them, and he has been in love with this person for years and decided to post a video confessing their love to this person just to see where it gets them. He really thought that this was gonna go somewhere. But let's take a look at that video now.
I have had a crush on Will Gold since 2019 when I heard him laugh in the background of someone else's video, and it felt like life itself leaned in to listen.
Should have given you guys a little bit of a warning. This video is very painfully 2020 core, if that makes sense. Like very 2020 millennial-ish. But you might be wondering, who the hell is Will Gold? Well, it's not some niche actor. It is Wilbur Soot, who used to be a member of the Dream SMP, and he also had a band. I'm not sure if that band is still up. I think it is. He was also kicked out of the Dream SMP for reasons that we will discuss later. Or I think he was kicked out. That's just what I was heard. I was saved from the Dream SMP 2020 era of all of the cringe things that had me hostage in 2020. I'm so glad that Dream SMP was not one of them. Just so you guys know, Tyler is, in his own words, a writer and a poet, and he uses the big words. So if it goes over your head, don't feel too bad. This guy has such a fucking big ego, it's insane.
Which is really inconvenient for me, because I am very much a one soul at a time kind of person, so once I develop a crush, virtually no one else stands a chance ever. And at the time, I had just broken off a terrible engagement to a guy who didn't even fucking like me. And since then, I have only briefly dated one other person, who was wonderful, but it didn't work out. And so in all of that time, regardless of how many people have tried and been interested in me, I have not been able to find the interest for any single one of them, because I have a fucking crush on a guy I have interacted with once, and I don't even officially know his sexuality.
So this guy has such an intense crush on Wilbur that he literally cannot be interested in anyone else, because that's how much he holds on hope that he will have a relationship with Wilbur. And this is where his situation differs from regular celebrity crushes. Everyone in the comments is acting like they've never had a celebrity crush, like they've never said something crazy about a celebrity they found attractive. Come on, guys. I know he's extreme. He is extreme. But some of the things he does aren't too far off from just everyday things. The difference is you joke about it with your friend while he posts it, hoping it'll get him somewhere. So although the things that we're going to talk about are extreme, other people do them. There are minor things that people do when talking about celebrity crushes that he does, that he's been criticized for, that it's if anyone else did that, it wouldn't be too much of a problem, but I get that it's also that combined with everything else, but kind of getting back on topic here. For me personally, we're gonna use me and Billy as an example for this video. Me liking Billy has not stopped me from dating anyone else, okay? I've liked other people. I've had a relationship in the past. Like, I'm not, like, holding off until Billy says that she wants me. Because it's not gonna happen. I know that's not gonna happen. And if anything, like, I wouldn't even, like, really want to date her. I feel like I'd really just more want to be her friend, you know what I mean? Like, but the difference between Tyler and most people, like, in my situation, is that I don't let my love for for Billy, like a singer, stop me from liking anyone else. I'm not like, no, you can't be my friend because I'm waiting for Billy to be my friend. But it's also just so crazy for this guy to be like, I not love anybody else because I heard Wilbur laugh in the background of somebody's video one time. And also, I do want to mention that Billy's, like, not even, like, my only celebrity crush. Like, I have other people. I'm not, like, holding out hope for them. I know they don't know me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll joke about how Billy, like, knows me, but, like, I know she doesn't, like, know me. Like, when I say that, like, Billy knows me, I mean, like, she recognizes me from going to multiple concerts. Like, that's it. Like, it's just, like, there's no better wording that I could find for it. Like, I've never met her. I've never had an actual conversation with her. Like, if anything, she recognizes, like, my hair or something. Like,
That's a whole other thing. And I have tried so hard to move on from this, to let it go, because I want so badly for it not to cross over into parasocial territory.
Buddy, we're there. Buddy, that line was crossed the second you heard him laugh once and only wanted him for the rest of your life and genuinely believed it. And, like, when you think about it, everybody's parasocial, at least a little bit, with someone they like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really do anything without being called parasocial, but, like, this is parasocial. There needs to be another word for it, because this is insane.
But in, like, the 7 minutes that we spoke to each other, one, every time we made eye contact, I thought my heart was gonna fucking burst out of my chest and fly away. Two, I was so nervous that my head just shut off and my mouth had a mind of its own. And anyone who knows me and has ever met me knows that I don't get nervous about people. What the hell was that? Three, he somehow managed to make me want to write music again, something I have not done since my last band broke up in 2019 and I got hit by a car and couldn't sing anymore.
Well, goddamn. Literally, before I start on my whole analysis and shit, just look at the way he's, like, getting red and, like, looking off into the distance while talking about him. Like, my mind just shut off and I had butterflies. Like, dude. And, like, also, I feel like that's just normal nerves when meeting someone that you admire. You know what I mean? Like, someone who you admire, obviously, a lot. This person, like, holds will to such, like, a high standard. But, like, that's just normal nerves, you know? Like, I haven't even had, like, an interaction with Billy. But when I was at Barricade and I knew she was about to come around and be, like, touching me, like, right in front of me, I didn't know what to do for a few seconds. I just stood there, like, in shock that it was actually going to happen. Like, that's just nerves when meeting someone you admire, you know? Like, that's kind of normal. But him taking it as, like, my body had a reaction to my attraction to him. Like, just the way he's, like, describing it as something not normal and, like, it was, like, meant to be, you know? My body had a whole reaction when talking about him. It just means that I like him so much, which, like, kind of, but, like, also, like, not like that.
And I can sing again now. It took several years, but I got it back because I'm amazing. But how dare you pull my spark back out from underneath the ashes I spent years burying it under because it hurt too much to think about. In, like, 2 sentences. It's rude.
That clip was a little painful to get through. He obviously feels that he has some kind of, like, connection to Wilbur because of, like, probably this interaction made it worse. But I think that the fact that he inspired Tyler to start writing music again, singing again, and stuff like that, that was just, like, made it, like, the emotional connection, like the one-sided emotional connection, obviously really worse and just worsen the situation. And like Tyler's whole mindset probably isn't helping with this either, you know what I mean? Like, he probably isn't like, oh yeah, like, I just got inspired by someone and they helped. It's like, he's probably really thinking, like, Wilbur helped me through this so much, you know? Like, this one interaction, me talking with him, he helped me through it, and, like, he pulled me out from, like, it's making it seem like it's such more of a personal thing than it was. And like, I talk about how like Billie and her music helped me through like depression and stuff like that, but like I know it wasn't like directed towards me. Like, she helped so many other people, and I've talked to other people who like her music has helped in so many ways. Like, I know it wasn't like she wrote the song for me or anything like that. Like, but yeah, because her music has helped me through a lot, I have an emotional connection to it, which isn't an inherently bad thing, but I feel like it gets bad when you take it really like personally almost, where like his phrasing is like, he pulled me out and like he helped me get better, when it was like really his music and stuff. I don't know if I'm phrasing it right, but like he's making it sound like such a more like personal thing than it was. I hope that makes sense, because like I'm dizzy, I can't think right now.
And 4, he failed to take a selfie with me because he was operating on like iPhone settings and I have an Android, and I accidentally called him adorable, and immediately wanted to swallow my fucking tongue. Because you don't flirt with people when they're working. That's rude. I paid to... I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
I feel like you were taking crazy pills too, Tyler. I feel like you can compliment a celebrity when the moment is right. You know what I mean? What if he's like, oh shit, dude, sorry, I have an iPhone, I don't know how to operate stuff on Android. And you're like, no, it's fine. You're like adorable. Ooh. Yeah, that's getting a little weird. And like, I know he said he didn't mean to say it, but like, still came out. Like,
and my point is, it's a whole thing that I would like to no longer have to deal with. And all of this is made worse because I have been recognized at every single concert I've been to in the past year and a half, including 2 of his. And I've been on the Lovejoy Nation podcast twice. So no matter how many times I try to sweep this under the rug and move on with my life, there's always that little thing in the back of my head saying, there's a non-zero chance. Oh my god.
No, there is a 0 chance. Or maybe it's not a non-zero chance. Maybe it's a 0.000. This is coming from someone who has been recognized at Billie concerts. And I don't know what his definition of recognition is. Like, he could have been called out. They could have, like, pointed to him. Wilbur could have looked in his direction and he's like, he recognizes me. He recognizes me. And again, do I know that Billie actually recognized me? No. My interactions with Billie have been, first concert, she blew me a kiss back when she was on like her crane thing going around, because I was at like the very upper level of the stadium. Second concert, Music Midtown. I was at the barricade, so she was looking at like my way a lot, looking at me a few times, I think. She came around, touched my hand, little hugs and stuff. Third concert, blew me a kiss at the end, was kind of looking at my like seating direction a lot. That's actually what my background on my phone is. My background on my phone is her blowing me a kiss, like in the picture of it. My fourth concert, she kind of glanced my way during guests, but I was up in like the middle section, so like she kind of didn't like see that too much. And I'll admit that, like at the Pittsburgh concert, she didn't really look my way at all. Like, I'll admit that. There was like no interaction there, and that's okay, because I was just there to enjoy the concert. Like, she doesn't have to interact with me. Fifth concert, I was back closer to the front, and she looked my way a lot of times, and like, I think she waved back at me at one point, but I couldn't really tell. There was also one point during Bad Guy where I think she smiled at me, but I can't tell because I was like twirling my hair. Shit. I'm no better than him. Do I take those interactions as I'm her best friend? No. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know my name. She recognizes my face vaguely. Probably. And I know that. And also, no, Tyler, you're not trying to put this crush behind you. Because if you were, you wouldn't be on a fan podcast multiple times and still going to multiple of their concerts a year. Like, if you were really trying to put this, like, crush behind you, why are you still going to see him in person live? Why are you still, like, watching his, like, content and stuff like that? Like, if you were truly serious about this, you'd cut him out of your life.
So basically, the way I see it, I finally say fuck it. I make this video, I say it all out loud to the ether that is the internet. Worst case scenario, he sees it, he says, hey, not for me. I move on with my life, it's fine. I'm an adult, who cares? I'll take a no over uncertainty any day of the week. Neutral option, nothing happens. Oh well, I guess. Best case scenario, you know?
So like I said, he was making this video hoping that Wilbur will see it and respond to him. I really think he thought Wilbur would see this video and be like, oh my god, yes, this is the guy I've been looking for, the one who's at all my concerts, the one who called me adorable all those years ago. I have been yearning for him. And like, it's okay to have your little fantasies, but to that level, there's some things that you just write down and don't tell anyone about. Or like, even if you need to talk about it, just like make a video and don't post it. You know what I mean? Like,
because honestly, it doesn't matter what I'm doing any day ever for the rest of my life. If he was like, hey, do you want to get dinner or something? I'd say yes. Obviously, I'm delusional. It's fine. But at this point, I'm just so over the not doing anything about the things that I want. You know? What's up with that? No one gets anywhere that way. So fuck it. I've said it out loud. What else is there to do at 9 p.m. on a... Is it Friday? I think it's Friday. Anyway. It is what it is, I guess. Okay, love you, bye. Also, I don't have a ring light. I have this flower lamp. It's very yellow, but yellow's my favorite color, so... A win is a win.
So, I'm not gonna act like the first part of that wasn't too crazy. Like, I feel like if anyone was asked by their favorite celebrity, hey, you wanna, like, have a little chat? Anyone, I feel like, would be like, yeah, sure. Fuck it. I'm free. But the last part, I mean, yeah, like, not doing anything about the things you want can suck, but some things you just can't have. And you kind of just have to accept that. Buddy, Wilbur doesn't want you. Like, why, no offense, but like, why would he? He doesn't know you personally. Although you know a lot about him, he doesn't know you. His only impression of you is maybe this video, unfortunately, that one meet and greet you had with him, and maybe if he recognized you at a bunch of concerts. That's it. Like, all he knows you as is a dedicated fan. And honestly, to him, you might even just come off as creepy. Like, but whatever. Just a guy with a really intense celebrity crush, right? Why are we talking about this so much? Well, it is because this guy, Wilbur, is an alleged abuser. This has been a known thing for years. And Tyler could not give less of a shit. He defends Wilbur's actions so hard to this day that he has gone as far as calling person who Wilbur allegedly abused, which I don't even know why I'm saying allegedly because it was pretty much confirmed, I think. He has gone on to call Wilbur's ex, who accused him of lying.
I do not think that Wilbur Soot is an abuser. This is just a reminder that I still feel that way. I've been doing more covers recently, and several of them have been Lovejoy songs because I fucking love Lovejoy. So I've been getting a lot of comments and DMs asking if I still support Will, which the answer is yes. I'm not the kind of person to hide my opinions, and if I think it's an important opinion, I usually will share it. So if my opinion had changed, I would have said it. So go watch that video all the way through if you want. It's like 6 minutes long, but you asked, so yeah, here I am, almost a year later. Same opinion, just a little bit more annoyed. I want more Lovejoy songs, I'm gonna be honest. I need new music. Life is too stale.
Yes, so I'm not gonna play the original video because it is pretty long. In the original allegations against Wilbur, two biggest points in the original Wilbur allegations were that he was extremely dirty, his house was extremely dirty, and that he abused his ex by biting her and ignoring her safe word when it was becoming too much for her. Let's start with the dirty one. Tyler, which even though the being dirty part isn't really cancelable, like it's not too bad. Like you're just, but like it's gross. It's gross. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not horrific. You know what I mean? But apparently he was just completely like his house was a mess. He had like trash and shit left out, like just like disgusting. Like it wasn't messy, like it was dirty. Like and Tyler excused that as being men just aren't taught how to clean. Okay? Because apparently Tyler has had exes who were also pretty dirty and messy, and men just aren't taught how to clean. But you can learn. Once you get your own house, you can learn to keep your own space nice, so you don't get fucking roaches and maggots. I don't know if he had those, but I can assume. Like, I feel like just not being taught isn't an excuse for not knowing how to clean. Like, I wasn't specifically taught how to dust stuff. I just watched my parents do it a few times, and then I knew how to do it. Like, it's just something that you kind of just pick up. You know what I mean? Like, but apparently Wilbur was too lazy to pick up his dirty clothes off the floor. You know what, Tyler? If that's the type of man you want, go ahead. He's all yours. But the next allegation is very serious. So Wilbur's ex, Shovel, said that he wanted to bite her, and she consented to it. But as time went on, he started biting too frequently and way too hard, and it was just becoming too much for her. So she started using her safe word to try to get him to stop, but he ignored the safe word and continued. That is abuse. And I have gone through something similar to that, actually. It only for Shovel, it seems like it was an ongoing thing, but for me, it was like a one-time thing, but it's just enough where I can really get where she's coming from, and it makes me really hate this Tyler guy a lot for accusing her of lying and dismissing her so much just because he thinks Wilbur's cute. Because for me, personally, this was my first relationship. This was back in December, actually, like very recently. And the person I was with wanted to bite my neck. And I was like, okay. Like a little hesitant, you know, but like it was a thing, but like, again, this is my first relationship. I've never had that done before. And I was like, let me just try it, you know? Like, I've heard it's a thing that people like. Let me try it. I don't know what I like and don't like, you know? I just gotta try shit. So, that's what they were doing. And I did not like it. Really at all. I was not into it. Like, it didn't hurt so much, but I just really wasn't into it. It was making me feel really uncomfortable. And they kept going, like, really aggressively. And I was like, okay, that's enough. Like, trying to politely push them away from me. And they didn't stop. And their only response was that I tasted good and that they were addicted to my neck. And then they kept going for a bit longer. So, even though it's not exactly like her situation, I honestly can feel where Shovel is coming from. Because because even though you initially said yes, when that initial thing you agreed with starts escalating and becomes too much, and you saying, like, stop, like, we can't continue this, being ignored is a horrible feeling. And it sucks. I was really uncomfortable. And even now when I think about it, I kind of really don't like that I feel like I just let it happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm normally not that type of person. I'm normally pretty fine with, like, standing up for myself and stuff. Especially the person I am now. But it's just so weird to me that even though this happened a few months ago, I didn't, like, push them off of me even after they ignored me, that I was telling them to stop. And I, like, low-key get, like, just the, like, pit in my stomach thinking about it. Like, it's kind of just like beating myself up about it. Like, just, I hate that I let that happen to me. So, for Tyler to call Shovel a liar and say that her abuse experience is invalid because she consented originally is horrible. It's fucking horrible, and Tyler is a disgusting person for saying that. Because biting does not seem like a lot. Like, I get that. But imagine it in a way that someone asks you to just make out and you say yes. You're fine with that. Just like kissing and stuff. But then they start like putting their hands all over you and obviously are starting to do more sexual things. But you didn't consent to that. You just consented to kissing. You did not consent to going further than that. And when you tell them to stop, they don't. That is abuse. That is abuse. And Tyler, I'm not saying he's a liar, but he claims to have been abused himself. So I don't understand why I know the exact reason why he is defending Wilbur so much, actually, and calling Shovel a liar. It's because he loves Wilbur. He will excuse... His parasocialness is letting him excuse anything Wilbur does. And when it's so serious, like abuse, it just doesn't matter to him. Because Wilbur's perfect in his eyes. He has created this fantasy version of Wilbur in his head that the real one is not living up to because he is an abuser. And when those allegations came out and shit, it completely shattered his view of him. And he could not take that, so his only explanation was, well, she's lying. She has to be lying. There's no way my Wilbur could have possibly done something like that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And he's not the only person to do it. There are so many people who still support and idolize celebrities, specifically male celebrities, who have so many abuse allegations against them, but it just doesn't matter. Because they make good music. Or they're good at acting. Or they're hot, though. Think of how many people still support, like, Chris Brown. It is a disgusting thing to do. But Tyler is not the only person who excuses their favorite celebrities' bad actions just because they are so obsessed with them. And Tyler's also probably making a video about it, making such a big deal about it, because he wants Wilbur to see him defending him, you know? Like, he thinks Wilbur's gonna come across his video of him being like, guys, Wilbur actually did nothing wrong, he's so nice, and Wilbur's gonna be like, you're right, I am so nice, Tyler, let's go make out now, because you're the only one in this world who defends me. And you know what, if that's the way he thinks, maybe him and Wilbur are perfect for each other. Why don't you guys go be together and live far, far away from society so no one has to interact with you guys. Ever.
And then I'm going to follow it with however. And I know the second I say that word, a lot of people are going to tune me out, but I'm asking you so nicely to keep listening. Okay. Believe victims, believe survivors. However, as a victim myself, as a survivor myself, what we should be saying when we say those words is believe victims, believe survivors first. Because the unfortunate truth is that just because you would never lie about something so important does not mean that no one would. Because blindly believing people like me can still be a bad thing. I know I would never lie about that sort of thing, but I still know people who have admitted to making false allegations, who have bragged about making false allegations. I still have known people who said that they would if they knew that it would benefit them. And every single time I've been assaulted, every single time I've been abused, every single time that I have been in a situation where I needed someone to believe me, a vast majority of the people in my life chose not to. I know how it feels to not be believed. So if someone tells me that they have been through a similar situation to my own, I will always believe them first. But if it comes to a point where I cannot feel comfortable believing them, that is saying a lot. And I definitely do not make that decision lightly, ever. It does not matter how much I like the accused, it does not matter how attractive they are, it does not matter how successful or talented they are, I will always believe the alleged victim first. I loved All-Time Low as a kid. I was in Onision forums for years, and when I heard about things they were doing behind the scenes, it did not matter how much I liked them. I was done. I was 100% on Amber Heard's side, until I was given too many reasons not to be. But that is still not a decision that I made lightly. And I know that for every person who takes the time to understand what I'm saying, there's another one that won't. But I know that I personally have to use discernment in order to feel comfortable with the decisions I make. And even if I cannot personally feel comfortable trusting someone at their word, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. My decisions are made up of my experiences, just as yours are made up of yours. And at the end of the day, there are hundreds, if not thousands of victims and survivors that I believe wholeheartedly. And there are genuinely only 3 that I know of that I cannot feel comfortable believing. And if not feeling comfortable believing those 3 and everything they say makes people think that I am a horrible person, there's nothing I can do about that. But if there's one thing I can say, but I will never compromise my own moral compass just to make someone else feel better. Because my moral compass was forged in a fire that I hope no one else has to go through. So please, if you hear nothing else from this video, believe victims, believe survivors first. But please keep in mind that there are people who lie about that sort of thing, and it does irreparable harm to those of us that don't. And personally, I don't want to forgive the people who do. Okay, love you.
I don't believe him at all, though. I'm gonna choose to believe that he was actually abused, okay? I'm gonna choose to believe that because, again, why would he lie? The part I don't believe is when he says that he's not defending Wilbur because he thinks he's attractive and likes him. Because even though he mentioned, like, another band or something, I don't know what a Nesion is, whatever he said, I don't know what that is. But you did not like that band as much as you liked Wilbur. That's why it was so easy for you to drop them. You have created such an insane relationship with Wilbur in your head that there is no way you can't defend him. That you just kind of have to defend him now. Like, this guy, he's just too attached to Wilbur to let anything be slightly off about the little fantasy version of him that he's created in his head. Clearly, you do not believe all victims because I really don't think there was any evidence that Shubble was lying. Fairly sure that there was another person who came out and said that Wilbur did the same thing to her. And Wilbur's name wasn't even mentioned in the original allegations. He came out after and said himself. He outed himself. Also, I think I forgot to mention, he accuses her of lying. He accuses Shubble of lying because she made the allegations on a stream that she uploaded to YouTube after. From what I've seen, that stream wasn't even like a exposing stream or anything. It literally just, from what I saw of it, it seemed like she was just like streaming with her friend and that just happened to come up in conversation. You know what I mean? Like, the stream wasn't like 4 hours of her just talking about her relationship with Wilbur and the abuse and stuff. Like, it just seemed like that just happened to come into the conversation. And that's what most people do with their streams, is upload them to YouTube after, so that people who couldn't watch them when they were live can watch them, or if they want to watch them again, or just so that there's just easier access to it. It's just a thing to do. And like, yeah, she's a really popular YouTuber. She made money off of it. Again, it doesn't seem like that was the focus of the stream, though. I can guarantee Wilbur probably made some money off of his apology. Barely apology. We have to move on from this, though, because 1, this video is getting kinda long, and 2, I can't get madder or I might pass out. So as of right now, Wilbur or any member of Lovejoy has not said a word on this situation. I don't think they should. Honestly, don't say anything. Even though I oddly think that this was the perfect karma for Wilbur. Imagine kind of being, like, irrelevant for years because no one wants to support you after you were outed for being abusive. And then one day you just randomly discover that you're, like, trending again. And you're like, oh, what's this, like, weird spike in my popularity, and like you research it and it's this guy. I don't know if y'all believe in karma, but I think it's working great right now. Anyways, but Tyler is super obsessed with Lovejoy, which is Wilbur's band, and he is still trying to become their second vocalist. You want to guess who the first one is? Even though they're not holding auditions for a second vocalist or anything like that. He's just doing this. He makes so many videos, though, about Lovejoy and how he loves their music and singing their songs and trying to audition or get them to notice him. Which I think they have noticed him a bit. Which, again, dude, you're not trying to move on from this crush if you're actively trying to get the band's attention.
Lovejoy is legitimately the only band that I cannot listen to without wishing I was in the band, which is kind of strange because I'd give anything to be in just about any band. But with most great bands that I love, I just want to be a fly on the wall during the writing process. I just want to, like, observe, I want to pick their brains, I just want to know how they do it. But every single time I hear a Lovejoy song, I feel like I need to roll up my sleeves and be in it. And I could just wax poetic for literal hours about why I feel that way. But I think the main thing is that every song feels like every person put in equal amount of effort. Like with a lot of bands or musicians, you can tell what they think is most important to a song. Like, you can totally tell when one person does a bulk of the writing, because usually things get thrown to the wayside. A song that's written by a guitarist is probably going to slack on lyrics and such. Songs written by a lyricist is probably going to let one of the instruments down. But with Lovejoy, you can tell that every single person is writing the parts they want to play, and they seem like they're all having equal amounts of fun with the actual songs, which I like. And I feel like the only part of every song that feels less important than everything else is like the vocal melodies. And absolutely zero hate to Will Cole. He's very good at what he does, and I love listening to him sing and talk and everything else. But every time I hear a Lovejoy song, I just want to, I just want to sprinkle some good stuff in there, because vocal melodies are my thing. I can't sing a song without changing it a little bit most of the time. Just gotta make it more interesting and fun to sing. Now, every time I hear a Lovejoy song, I just want to take it, run it through my brain, and then rinse it off like I'm developing film. Not to like seriously change anything, because again, it's all great music. Just to give it that little extra bit of sparkle that I feel like some of them are missing. And again, I cannot say this enough. I love their music. It's great as it is. It's wonderful. However, I just want to take it that little half step extra to make it perfect. And that's that's basically it for me, I think. This is honestly probably why it's so hard for me to find like an actual band to join. I don't want to write everyone else's part. I don't even want to write lyrics half the time. I just want to sing. I want to focus on my little melodies, my la-la-las, you know? So I guess shout out to Lovejoy for helping me narrow down what it is exactly I want in life, I guess. Hopefully one day I'll shake their hands or something. Who knows? Anyway, go stream will look good when I'm sober, I guess. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like a bedazzler of music. Like, yeah, I could make the whole thing from scratch and do it all, but instead I'd rather just take what's there and make it sparkle, you know? Bring out some potential. Lovejoy just brings out the bedazzler in me, I suppose. Yeah, well. Okay, love you, bye.
He is just constantly sucking Lovejoy's dick off. Like, constantly. It is, like, almost all he posts about. Which, like, I run a Billy fan page, essentially. Like, so that's all I post about, basically. But, like, it's, his level is so weird. He's, like, getting off to the band, almost, in a video, like, after he came back from their concert. He's, like, laying back on his couch. He's like,
We just got back. I am so tired. But god damn, is Lovejoy good. I was on the center of the barrier. I am a barrier bitch for life, and I am undefeated. Definitely worth the last minute everything.
dude, chill out a bit. It was a concert. But I have one more video for you. Latest response to this discourse.
Embarrassing and morally wrong, right? They're not the same thing. Because, oh my god, it is so not that serious. Is it embarrassing to publicly admit that you have a crush on someone? Yes. Is it also embarrassing to admit the person you have a crush on has a larger following than you do? Yeah, sure. But having a crush and feeling emotions about a person you don't know is not inherently wrong. I'm not out here writing self-insert fanfiction or building a shrine to our love in my fucking closet. I said that I had a crush on a guy who I do not know, and that we met one time, made eye contact, and it gave me butterflies. I said it in a way that wasn't strictly literal, because I'm an artist and a poet, and I like to say the pretty words, and y'all are out here acting like I trained an AI chatbot to talk like it.
He is right. Having feelings for someone that you don't know isn't inherently wrong. A lot of people have celebrity crushes and stuff, but it's to the level that he takes it that's wrong. It is the fact that he wants to move to the UK from Texas, the town or something that Wilbur lives in, but claims that it's for no reason. It's just because he feels safer in the UK. Which, honestly, maybe it might be safer in the UK right now. But he claims that it's not for reasons related to Wilbur. No, I'm just moving to the UK in the exact same town, same neighborhood that my crush lives in. For unrelated reasons. I didn't even know he lived there, guys. Like, okay, butter. See, that's where it gets way too far. When you're, like, literally invading this celebrity's personal space. Their house, their home. Like, when I went to LA, I knew the general area that Billie lived in just because she talked about it in interviews. But I didn't go to it. I didn't try to find her house. I didn't drive around that area trying to find her house. I would never do that. The only way you will ever see me going anywhere near Billie's house is if I was somehow invited there by her herself. Other than that, I don't need to be in her neighborhood. I don't need to be, like, looking up her address, looking at her, like, house on, like, Google Earth or something. I don't need to be doing any of that. I don't want to be doing any of that. I don't need to be stalking her parents' house. I don't need to be stalking Phineas's house. Although I did drive by her, kind of, in LA. We were driving past the Hollywood Bowl, and they were having, like, a big event there. And I say to my dad, everyone in the car heard this. You can get their testimony. I said to my dad, I wonder if Billie's there. And what do I see on Billie Eilish tours just a few minutes later? A picture of Billie at the Hollywood Bowl at whatever event was going on there. I'm psychic. Am I gonna take that as emotionally attachment? Like we're connected by some string? No. She's a celebrity and she was at a big event. If I could have pulled in there and saw her, would I have? Maybe.
Yeah. And for the record, we are strictly against AI in this house, just so you know. But are y'all really so online that you forgot that being human is allowed? Yes, he's successful, and there are other people who want him, and he has a larger following than me, and I've had a crush on him for more than a couple years. But he is just a guy. He is just a guy. And yes, having a crush on him makes it hard for me to have a crush on literally anyone else, because he is proof that all the qualities I want in a partner exist as one coherent person. And why the fuck would I want to settle for someone who doesn't have those qualities when I know that those qualities exist? But I'm not out here saying that he's the only person who's allowed to date me. He's the only one who's allowed to try, and if I just wait long enough, he'll fall in love. No! If he asked me out, I would say yes. That is all I said. Having a crush might be embarrassing, but it is not weird, it is not wrong, it is not stripping someone of their rights It is looking at a person and saying, hey, I really like that person. It would be cool if they liked me too. And that is all it is. It's fine. This is disgustingly parasocial. Do you know what parasocial means? Do you? Because having a crush on someone is not inherently parasocial. Convincing myself that he also has a crush on me and that he wants to marry me, that would be parasocial. Because I don't fucking know the guy. And that's not what I fucking said. But the thing that really gets me is that everything I said in that video, I have said several times in other videos. I just didn't put a name to it. And the second I put a name to it, y'all start acting like I'm an obsessed stalker who knows everything about him and is following him around the town. Oh my god. I just have to keep reminding myself that so much of the internet is teenagers who don't know anything of the outside world other than like their school, their house, and their little sphere of the internet. And like, I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. We've all been there. But oh my god, y'all are frustrating. Just scroll. Just move on with your lives. And just before I end this video, I would like the record to show that not only do I have more followers now than he did when I first found his content, but also I know who I am. And I know I can pull. And thinking to myself, hey, I bet if this guy knew me, he'd probably like me back. If there's a chance. Is also not parasocial. It's just thinking. I am going to eat this lamp. Y'all. Stop it! Oh my god! I will be 27 in a month, and I pay my own bills, and I live in my own apartment, and at least a third of my job is making videos on the internet and embarrassing myself for fun. I know the difference between right or wrong, and I know where to stop before the bit becomes weird. Okay, love you, bye.
So those qualities are biting people and ignoring them when they say it hurts and to stop. Those qualities are house being so dirty it could borderline on a Hoarders episode. He's all yours, Tyler. We don't want him. I don't believe that Tyler thinks that he is just a guy. You wouldn't be acting like this if he was just a guy. I do think that people should treat celebrities more like they're just people, though. I feel like people treat celebrities like they're, like, higher up than them and stuff, which, like, maybe technically they are, but, like, I feel like people treat celebrities, like, not as, like, an everyday person enough, you know what I mean? Like, even Billie has said that she doesn't want her fans to treat her like she's some, like, higher being than them, and that she's, like, higher up than them and more important than them. She's like, I'm on the same level. Like, she said that she's on the same level as we are. Like, she's also human. She's just, like, she's not some, like, untouchable person. He also made another video being mad at, like, people making, like, funny fan art and edits of him and Wilbur together. He also claims that this is a smear campaign against him.
A guy in a band who I do not know and have met once. And because I was not strictly literal in a video that was for entertainment, I have somehow become the target of a weeks-long ridiculous smear campaign that, frankly, I don't want to understand.
I don't think he knows what that means. Okay, so before we read some comments and then wrap this up, I do want to fit this in here. I'm just not, I know this is awkward placement, but I didn't really know where else to talk about it. Tyler has a GoFundMe. We talked about him wanting to move from Texas to, I think it's Brighton in the UK. But he wants to move from Texas to the UK to where Wilbur lives. Coincidentally, you know. And he has a GoFundMe up for this move. He sells jewelry, which is apparently pretty expensive. But he has a GoFundMe up for this move as well. And it is, I think, like $22,000. And somebody did the math on it, on like realistically kind of what it would be to move from Texas to the UK. And it was not $2,200. Like, surprisingly, I thought it would be a lot of money, but like, it wasn't as much as I thought it would be, and it is not $2,200. So, do I think his GoFundMe is a scam? Yes. Or at least partially. He is asking for way too much money to move. People are generally donating to it, and you should not, because where's the rest of that money going? I just wanted to fit that in here somewhere. I didn't really know where to. But let's read some comments now. If anyone deserves this, is definitely Wilbur. calling him Will Gold like he knows him personally. Oh yeah, I feel like I kind of glossed over that. Wilbur obviously goes by a different name for like his username, but he calls him his real name Will Gold. That is kind of weird, you know? Especially when that's not the name he goes by. Like, gonna lie, I hope he never stops this shit. Yeah, he would have an android. Oh my god. You can tell that he thinks this entire situation is a rom-com. He definitely does. Like, he has this whole fantasy world in his head. You know he does. He's stuck in 2020, genuine question. It's filmed like he is. There's a non-zero chance. No, there's a 0 chance. It's a 0 chance. I felt like life itself leaned into listen. It's such a poetic way to talk about having a crush on the Brighton biter. The way he keeps looking at something beside the camera is driving me crazy. I swear, he's like looking off into the distance, like, actually. That is enough for today, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what you think about this. I want to thank you guys for, like, my last video doing so well, because that went better than I thought it would. All of my links will be down below, though. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video and maybe watch another video and then consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.
You guys think Tyler Catastrophe ever bites himself and pretends it's Wilbur?